Hello students, my name is Harish and today I'm going to explain you the topic. The action of hormones is regulated by the feedback mechanism. This topic is from the chapter Control and Coordination. So let us start. Hormones. What are hormones? The essential chemicals that are secreted from our body for the smooth functioning of the body are called hormones. These chemicals are secreted from a gland known as the endocrine glands, which are distributed throughout the body. These chemicals control many functions like physiological and also psychological. Hormones are very important for maintaining a balance in the body. So basically, hormones are chemicals that are secreted inside our body to keep our body stable, and these are secreted from the endocrine glands which are spread out throughout the body. Okay, we will learn about endocrine glands in the upcoming slides. Okay, so what are the important functions of hormones? Some of the important functions of hormones are: it helps in food metabolism, it helps in the growth and development of the body, it helps in controlling the thirst and hunger, and also it helps in maintaining body temperature. Okay, apart from this, our hormones also helps us in sleeping and also other things. Okay, so hormones are very important for body. Okay, now let us learn about few important hormones. First of them is estrogen. This hormone is mostly found in females, and this hormone helps in bringing out puberty in female. It brings us the adolescent. It helps in the growth of the body as well. Next comes our progesterone. What is progesterone? This hormone functions for the regulation of the menstrual cycle, leading to pregnancy and embryogenesis. The next important hormone is cortisol. This is the hormone that is present in our body and shows symptoms when we are tensed, called the stress hormones. This hormone increases the blood sugar, increases the heart rate, and makes the body shiver. Next is melatonin. This is primarily circadian rhythm or sleep cycles are controlled by these hormones. Basically, if there's an imbalance in this hormone, you will not be able to sleep properly. One of the disease due to this is insomnia. Okay, this melatonin is responsible for your sleep cycle. Next is testosterone. This is the hormone which brings out the puberty and adolescent in males. This also helps in the growth of muscles, the strength. It also increases the bone density as well as helps in facial growth of hair. Now see, this is the whole endocrine system. As in the first slide, what did we read? That these chemicals are secreted from a gland known as the endocrine glands, which are distributed throughout the body. So in this figure, we can see that all the hormones are released from the glands, and these glands are distributed in the different parts of the body. This is the figure. Okay, in your neck there is thyroid gland, then we have the pancreas, then we have the pituitary gland, then we have the testes for male, ovaries for female, then we have the adrenal glands. Okay, so this is the whole endocrine system. Again, these are the glands which releases hormones. Okay, now see, let us look on the topic feedback mechanism in hormones. See, feedback mechanism is a mechanism of the body to maintain the levels of hormones in the body in the desired limits. Okay, so basically, as we know that the hormones are very important in our body, and this feedback mechanism is responsible to maintain the levels of these hormones. Okay, and why do we need hormones? We need hormones to keep the body stable, and to keep the hormones level stable, we have this feedback mechanism. Okay, now an increase or decrease in the levels of the hormones triggers the feedback mechanism. Okay, so if there's an imbalance in the amount of hormones, we have this feedback mechanism. Now there are two types of feedback mechanism. Okay, One is positive feedback mechanism and the other is negative feedback mechanism. Now let us first look into positive feedback mechanism. This mechanism takes place when the original effect of the stimulus is enhanced by the output. Now this line might be very difficult to understand, okay? I will explain it to you with an example, then this line will be clear to you. Now see, when the milk is secreted by a mother's mammary gland, that is an example of positive feedback mechanism. And how is it an example? Let us understand that. When the child is suckling the milk, the nerve sends signal to stimulate the pituitary gland to secrete more prolactin. And in turn, this prolactin triggers the mammary glands to secrete milk. Okay, so as the baby suckles more milk, more prolactin is secreted and more milk is produced. Okay, so basically, now let us read the definition again. It takes place when the original effect of the stimulus is enhanced by the output. So, when the baby is drinking milk from the mother, the amount of milk in the mother's body is decreasing. So this thing will send a stimulus to the pituitary gland, and that gland will in turn increase the amount of prolactin, and this prolactin will tell the mammary gland to secrete more milk. So as a baby keeps on drinking more milk, more and more milk will be produced. So it's a positive feedback mechanism. Okay, so more is the output, and so more is secretion. So as a baby suckles more milk, more prolactin is secreted and more milk is produced. Okay, so this is the positive feedback mechanism. Okay, on the other hand, we have the negative feedback mechanism. Basically, it is the exact opposite of positive. The negative feedback mechanism occurs when the original effect of the stimulus is less by the output. Okay, let us understand this with an example, and then this definition will be clear to you. See, negative feedback mechanisms smoothen things when they start becoming too extreme. Example of a negative feedback mechanism is the thyroid gland that is regulated by a negative feedback mechanism. Another example of this is in the blood glucose level. Okay, let us understand with an example what exactly is negative feedback mechanism. In the control of the blood glucose level, certain endocrine cells in the pancreas detect the level of glucose in the blood. Okay, then they respond appropriately to keep the level of the blood glucose within the normal range. Okay, the amount of glucose in our blood should always be in a normal range. Okay, and who is responsible for that? Our pancreas. So what happens if the blood sugar rises or decreases? Now see, if the blood glucose level rises above the normal range, the pancreatic beta cells release the hormone insulin into the bloodstream. And when they release this thing, the blood level automatically decreases and comes in the normal range. Okay, so basically, if you see in this diagram, okay, you'll be able to understand. In so now if there is pancreas will release glucagon. Okay, this glucagon will increase the blood sugar. So what the next time will explain this to us. The blood glucose level falls on below the normal range. Pancreatic alpha cells release the hormone glucagon into the bloodstream. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? Basically, suppose if the amount of the blood sugar glucose in our blood is increased, in that case, the pancreas will increase the amount of what? Insulin. Okay, and if it does that, then the automatically the glucose level in our blood decreases and comes to normal range. Okay, on the other hand, if the glucose level is less, then the pancreatic cells will increase the amount of glucagon, because of which again the blood level glucose in the blood will increase. So if you see correctly, it's the exact opposite of the positive. See, in the positive, as the baby was drinking more milk was produced. More milk was produced. For what? To increase the amount of milk the baby consumes. And in this case, as the blood level increases, the hormones are sending, the pancreas is sending the hormones to decrease the blood level. Okay. And if the blood level is decreased, the pancreas are sending glucagon to increase the blood sugar level. Okay, so just the exact opposite of positive. That's what is known as negative feedback mechanism. Okay, this might still be a little confusing, and this diagram will clearly help you understand it. Okay, so suppose if there's a deficiency of glucose in our blood, in that case, pancreas will release glucagon, then the liver will break down it, and at the end, the blood sugar will be raised. On the other hand, if there is a very high amount of blood sugar, see, high amount of blood sugar, then pancreas will put insulin. Okay, the insulin go to tissue cells, and due to which the blood sugar will get lowered. Okay, see, if you notice there's a red line and there's a green line, will tell you the path. What will happen? High blood sugar promotes insulin release for the pancreas. Pancreas will release insulin. Insulin go to liver, or also it can go to tissue levels, and at the end, the blood sugar will be lowered. On the other hand, if there is a low blood sugar, then what will be the path? It will go upon, it promotes the glucagon release in the pancreas. The pancreas will release the glucagon, it will go to liver, it will break down, and at the end, the blood sugar will be raised. Okay, so this is known as a negative feedback mechanism. So there are two types of feedback mechanism. One is positive and one is negative. Okay, thank you.